Stream again. We're doing another bonus stream today. So yeah, I got some health screen work that I want to do. So right now the health screen looks pretty bad in the game. This health option screen basically looks like this, and we're going to be replacing it with the new screen that I just finished today in terms of the art. So we'll be doing that on this stream, and we'll see how far we get. I might be able to finish it, but probably not, because there's going to be a lot of animation stuff to do, and I am getting a little bit tired, so we're probably not going to go for the full 2 hours like we usually do, but we will see how that goes. But before I get into it, I got to do my ads. Gunforged is available for purchase, so if you want to support my work, check it out on Steam. It's a 2D roguelite goofy shooter, and it's a great way to support me. And if you end up playing it, leave a review. I would very much appreciate that. I also have my new Create a Complete online co-op multiplayer game in Godot 4 course. That's linked in the description below. Again, this is a great way to support me. But also, you're going to learn the essentials of making multiplayer games. So you'll learn the high-level multiplayer nodes, multiplayer synchronizer, and multiplayer spawner. You'll learn about remote procedure calls and all of that good stuff. So if that's something that you've been interested in learning, then definitely check out the links in the description below. All right. So here is the health screen. This is the new health selection screen. We've got our new health options. We've got a large vial here. I'm just going to rework this. There we go. We got a large vial here. We've got a medium vial there. We've got a small vial there. So the small vial, it's going to be the same concept that we have right now, which is that the small vial is going to be free, but then it will cost currency to get the larger increments of health. So yeah, it's this is what we got going on, and I don't really know what else to say about that other than, yeah, that's what we got going on. So it's going to be a matter of cutting up this art and bringing it into the game. But before we get into that, hello, A the Ant. Always good to see you. Welcome back. We got Codex with second. There we go. Hello, how are you doing? I was wanting another stream, so this is great. Awesome. QWERTY. Holy moly, what's this super late stream? It is late. It's 8 p.m. for me. 8 p.m. I've been going to bed at like 9:30 these days, so this stream may run up exactly to my bedtime. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of bonus streams recently. Yeah, I have a lot more time to work on the game now, and so, like, you know, might as well throw up a stream when I'm just doing something that is... I think the streams really help when I'm doing something that's kind of like rote and boring. Like, I know exactly how to set up this health screen, so it's just a matter of getting all the code written, and that can be kind of boring, but when I do it on a stream, it's a little bit more interesting. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. I think that's 2 donos in 1 day, so thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. It's always very generous, and of course, we have Yummers again. We've been graced by the Yummers message. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, yes. Big bottles, yeah. Saw the notification pop up and instinctively clicked. Awesome. Hello, MBGDSAF. I'll call you MBG for short. Beautiful work. Greetings from Argentina. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Forgot we had the same time zone. Oh, are you in the Eastern time zone? 7 p.m. here. Okay, so you're just west of me then, Codex. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now the cat's gonna be annoying. Azir, I don't really want to do this right now. Thank you. All right, so yeah, so there's a couple of pieces we need to get cut out. I think the background elements, let's see what I want to do about the background. Let's get rid of this. Not get rid of it, but we're gonna do it as a separate thing. Floor. Okay, so we've got the background. We've got the floor. Okay, we've got the shadows. I don't know if those shadows need to be separate things. That should probably be exported as part of the floor. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay. Then we've got the health file large. I'm just going to merge this down. There's no reason for this to be a separate thing. Okay. So now it's just a matter of getting the background and the... Getting the background and the what? The vials out of here. Oh, did I do something wrong here? We can get rid of that. I may have done something wrong. Oh, maybe not. This health vial's small. I'm just going to make one little tweak here. Need to make this thicker. Okay. So I just need to export those things now. Export layers. Okay. I live in the Empire State, so yeah, EST, New York, very nice. Very nice. Welcome back, Anykey. You're streaming outside of normal working hours so I can pay more attention this time. Awesome, yeah. That's great. I am streaming outside. Well, normal working hours is the key word there. My working hours are abnormal. Very abnormal. Health screen finally, yes. Yes, we're finally getting to it. I finally worked up the energy to finish the art today. So now it's just a matter of getting it integrated into the game. Welcome back, Adam. Good to see you as always. What do you use for versioning your art? Git? Yeah, I use Git. Yep. And welcome to the stream, Mason. Good to see you. My art is small enough where it's like, I mean, at most, like the pixel art is a couple of kilobytes, so it's really not that big of a deal to commit it. Now you need a victory defeat screen and a title screen, and boom, yes, yep. Happy to be here. Yeah, I gotta figure out, so for the playtest, I'm definitely gonna want like a main menu scene or screen. And I'm definitely gonna want some kind of like victory or game over screen, or victory and game over screen. So I gotta think about that. Azir, you're being annoying, buddy. You're being very annoying. Goodbye. Okay. I think all these things have been exported. So the last thing that I'll do then is I'm going to just export an area here so I can place everything correctly. So we'll do visible layers, selection. I'll call this mockup, I guess. Okay. Cool. You know, I don't dislike these sprites. I don't dislike this one in particular. That's not a bad sprite. Maybe I can use it for something, but I don't know. Anyway, delete. So I'm still gonna need these labels. How? Well, I don't know exactly how I want to do this. Let's just, well, let's do this. I think what I'll do is I'll do this. Create a new 2D scene. The cat is still bugging me. Oh, goodness. I'm trying to focus. Go away. Go away. All right, so let's see. Health. We'll just call this... why did I call this health option? Why is this called health option? Where is this being used? Oh, there's a health option container. Okay. Very nice. All right. So the health option container, we're going to get rid of this. Okay. So I can actually just change this type to a node 2D. Then in here, we're going to change this to a node 2D. Basically, all of this is going to go away. Oh, that does need to be an HBox container. Okay, so we've got our text control. I don't know why I need that anymore. I don't think I do. These should all be set to ignore. Okay. Health label container. Let's just reset all of these things to transform position 0. Okay. We'll deal with that in a second. I've been working on the Survivor's course all day, so I'm taking a break to watch this. Wow, you're getting quite a dose of my voice. How are you enjoying the Survivor's course? Is it good? Putting assets in version control, good for game devs, bad for web devs. I guess that's true. Poor car. What's up? Hello, Lukey. Late stream W, yes indeed. Should we go all night? Well, I'm not going to go all night, so don't get your hopes up. Hello, Weewius. I found your channel a short while ago, and I just wanted to say that I'm really learning a lot thanks to you. I also bought your Udemy course, and I'm working through it whenever I got the time. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you found the channel helpful, and yeah. Which Udemy course did you get? Is it the Survivors one or the new one, the cooperative multiplayer one? I have a harder time following game dev lessons tutorials if I use the same art, so I've been making my own art while following the Survivors course. Currently on part 19. Gotcha. It's really good. I like the way you explain everything. Good. Yeah, I'm glad. It sounds interesting. Yeah, it definitely sounds interesting to follow along making your own art. Sounds kind of fun, actually. When is the GMTK jam? It's on the... Does it start on the 31st? I'm really looking forward to getting a game jam in. Yeah, July 31st. So I'll be doing streams for that too. Everyone can get an inside look at what it looks like to crunch real hard on a game. I would love to do like a marathon stream for the GMTK jam. Do like a marathon for me would be like 6 hours. I know marathon to some streamers is like 12 hours, or 24 hours, but I don't think I have it in me to do that. Oops, what the heck am I doing? You're debating on whether or not you should join the GMTK jam? You know, it's one of those things where you might as well give it a shot, and you know, you can always bail on it if it ends up being too much or if you don't have a good idea or whatever. I think I've bailed on a handful of game jams that I've started. So it's not that big of a deal if you end up just saying, nah, ain't for me, you know? We'll do small. There's our small vial. Change the offset. So a lot of this is going to have to be... I'm going to need to actually figure out what the heck I'm doing. Actually, you know what? I can probably just make these all offset like that. I think that will work. And then the description label... do like that, and then I can move this. So when the anchor is to the right like that, oh wait, no, I don't want that to happen. No, what am I doing? I want it to be top center. What happens if this extends? Yeah, that will remain centered. So then I can take this text, center it. Okay. So we'll do that, and then this health description label, center it like this. I think this should also expand. No. So the easy fix for that then is I'll just set a custom minimum size on it. Like that, and then I'll just center everything in here. That shrink center doesn't do anything. Center. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Flexbox in game dev context. So we'll just start with that. There's our medium vial. Okay. That is a good looking vial. Okay, so they're all aligned pretty much the way that they should be. So what I'll do is I'll just toggle which of these sprites is visible here. And I can make this even easier on myself. What I can do is I can add another node 2D called a vial root here. And put these all underneath that. And this vial root now, I will, actually for all of these, small, medium, and large, I'll go into the material and say use parent material. So I'll check that. And then when I use my visual utilities to change the material, I can just change it on this vial root here. So I don't need to, conditionally set it on any of these. I can just have those inherit the vial root and call it good. So I think that's going to be fine for now. So the way that this is going to work is, let me get the mockup in here. And I'm just going to kind of, I guess I need to do it like this. Kind of do something like that. And actually, that's a pretty good framing of the scene there. But typically what I do is then I'll take this health option container here and I will make this a minimum size. So I'll turn the custom minimum size up to match. Like that. And then I can just put all of my stuff in there. So we got the mock-up here. So what first I need to do is I need clickable controls. So I need 3 of those. I'm going to need another control node in here. Actually, you know what I should do? Let's take this custom minimum size, copy that, paste it on this control there. We need the mouse filter to be ignore. And then we'll put the clickable controls under that. This can have a custom minimum size reset. Good. Okay, so now these clickable controls, they're all going to have to be slightly different sizes, I think. So let's just go ahead and figure out what to do about that. So there's one. Move this over, move it up. Do something like this. Something like that. Cool. And then the clickable control 3. Gonna need to move this over just a little bit. Okay, so there's our clickable areas now. So under each of these clickable areas, what I'm going to do is instantiate that health option. And we've got health option 1 here. So I'm just going to go ahead and align this with where it needs to be on the mockup. Perfect. And then I will instantiate another health option here. Now, in order to make this, well, actually, since they're all in the same, they all have the same like origin down here, so I can just probably do that. But the way I can test this is I'll just swap the visual out. And did I do it right? I think I did. Yeah. And then instantiate another one. Health option. I'm debating, oh wait, I already read that. I got the 2D platformer course. Okay, so that's an older one, but you probably still like it. I hope you like it anyway. Hello, MKRD. I was looking to GMTK Jam all year, TBH. Yeah, it's a good one. It's really fun. I like it a lot. Rentar, welcome back. Hello, game dev time once again. Yes, indeed. Welcome to everyone. Welcome, welcome. Always good to see you all. We're just chilling. It's a little bit of a chiller stream, mostly because I'm tired. But, you know what they say. I don't know what they say. Okay, everything's aligned there now, so that's good. Now the background. I need the background element. So, background, where is that? Oh, you know what I just realized? Shoot. I need these to have a root as well. Node 2D. Oh, that's already there. Okay, good. I can just move this under here. Perfect. Call this small animation root. Node 2D. Do you see what I mean about this being super rote? Like, I'm just doing the same operations multiple times. So. But again, the reason why I want to put an animation root here is because now, what I can do is I can animate this. So position 0, 0 means that's the position where it needs to be in like the composition. So what I can do now is I can animate this, right? I can move this off screen, animate this in, and then when it settles back on 0, 0, that's the position that it's supposed to be in. So you can make your life a lot easier when you're animating things with tweens or even animation players by just leveraging the scene structure to zero out the sort of default positions of your animations. And that also helps too, like let's say, oops, I want to shift things around a little bit. Well, what I can do now is I can just move this clickable control around and all the positions are still relative to that, that spot, right? So the animations aren't going to break when I move that around because they're properly segmented or delineated under that node structure. You know what they say, please tell me because I don't. Yep. You know what they say, people in glass houses sink ships. That's true. You know what they say. Boondock Saints is a great movie. Yeah, I like that movie a lot too. The amount of Godot creators popped in my feed is astonishing, but I ain't complaining. Yeah, it's a very vibrant little space, isn't it? The Godot game dev stuff. This, I might as well just turn that off. I'm just gonna just turn off the snapping here. There we go. There's our background. I may want to further... break up that background, but maybe not. We'll see how it looks. I can break it up later if I want. Okay, so now we can get rid of the mock-up, and everything is positioned correctly. Oh, I forgot. I have a floor as well. I forgot about the floor. Okay. So now we've got everything positioned the way that it needs to be positioned. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a clickable coordinator, and then we gotta do all the scripting for this. Goodness gracious. Oops. Okay, and then the small clickable control, I need to set the outline target here to health option. I guess I'll call this... I guess it doesn't really matter. Does it matter? I don't think so. I don't think I need to rename those. Nope, that's wrong. This one. Oh, you know what I just realized? Shh. No, I think this will be fine. I can do visibility or material inherent from parent there. I think that will be okay. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so we've got our health scene all set up, and what I think I'm gonna do is tighten this bounding box a little bit. So what that's gonna require is I'm gonna need to, let's grab everything. Actually, let's do this. Grab all this stuff. Move it like that. Then this control here, I can have the custom minimum size change now, which is actually going to be a little bit annoying. Why isn't that? Hold on a second. Why isn't the sizing changing? Am I doing something wrong? Oh, that size. Oh. Okay, well, it's going to be easier if I just do this then. Let's just measure this across. 156. Remember 156. $156, $133. Okay, so now we've got a tighter bounding box there, which is good. So I basically just want this control to just perfectly bound all of the art so that it gets positioned in its parent container correctly. Because what ends up happening with this is if I go to my game UI here, I've got this right half container here, which is a container that takes up the right half of the screen minus whatever the drawer width is. So you can see that I've got this little control here. This is player inventory padding. This is just basically storing the horizontal area that is required by the inventory drawer. And then there's this play container, which takes up the remaining spot. And then that is divided into left half and right half. The left half currently is also just a spacer, but the right half, this is where all the events get spawned under. So if I instantiate the health container under here, container, health option container, that's how it's going to appear now. See how it's got like a nice padding on the right hand side and it's kind of centered in that area. So that's why I just want to make sure that this is very tightly bounding the art so that it looks nice and centered where it's supposed to be. Okay, so I think it's time to add scripting to this. I don't think I need this mockup anymore, so we'll get rid of that. And I'm also going to delete the mockup from the file system. I might as well just commit what I've got here, although it looks like this is broken. I don't typically like to commit code that won't at least compile, so I think what I'll do for now is I'll just remove this GUI input. Actually, I'm just gonna cut all this. Yeah, I don't think I need that either. I don't need that. Don't need that. Should I make it so that the player can purchase all of the health upgrades if they want to? Like if you, why am I so blue? I need a better light. Should I make it so that the player can purchase everything? If you have enough money, you could just get all of the health upgrades. Godot is peak, yes. Honestly, if not for Godot, I would have stayed as an RPG Maker dev. Oh, well, there you go. I'm sure that was quite an upgrade. I mean, I think RPG Maker is great for what it does, but I'm sure you were probably feeling the constraints of that engine. Bird in the hand is worth two in a bush, and don't cross the road if you can't get out of the kitchen. Yep, that's exactly right. You know, I always like saying, you know, oh, he's not the sharpest bulb in the drawer, or, you know, just something nonsensical like that. If I weren't for Godot, I probably wouldn't have been working on projects. It's the only engine I've been able to wrap my head around. Godot is super intuitive. I agree, yeah. I'm good at programming, but sprite art and 3D modeling scare me. Yes, yeah. Welcome, by the way, D-Vibe. Oh wait, you've been here for a second. Sorry, I don't think I formally welcomed you. It's because you can have ugly code and it still works, but you can't have ugly art and get to pass it off. Right, yeah, that's the problem. And that's like really, I mean, we've talked about this before, but you get some of the source code revealed from like these really popular indie games, and it just like makes the software engineers like cringe really hard. But then it's like, the kind of moral of the story there is that the users or the players only care about the experience you're giving them. They don't care about how messy the code is under the hood. So you definitely have to kind of step into that mindset a little bit when you're making games. It's like, it's about the user experience or the player experience primarily, but I've been trying 3D modeling with Blender recently. I feel it's easier to use than people give it credit for. There was because I did game dev in college, and there was a semester where I needed to do a 3D art class, and I was actually quite surprised with how, I don't want to say how easy it was, but it was much easier than I thought it was going to be. Like, sculpting a model that looks like what you want it to look like is in a lot of ways easier than doing like hand-drawn art. And I don't know why that is exactly, and maybe that's just my experience, but we had an assignment where we had to make a robot hand with, you know, we had to make it look like a robot hand, so it had like pistons and gears and stuff, but then we had to rig it all up so that when you like move a finger, like all the pistons and the gears, you know, twist and turn correctly. And I feel like my hand turned out pretty good. I might even still have it. I wonder if I could open it. Did I do that in Blender? I don't know if I should go on this wild goose chase in my file system here, but I'm kind of curious if I can find it. What year was that? Oh. Digital 3D Foundations. Robot hand. Oh, you know what? Maybe we were using Maya. Were we using Blender? I found the file. Hold on, you got me going on this. got me going on this. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a Blender file, so I don't know. I find 3D modeling easier compared to 2D art. Blender looks like a planes control panel at first. Yeah, it's true. You get used to it though. Blender's my goat. Blender also goes amazing with Godot. I've been meaning to look into the Blender dog walk game and their workflow. I think they published a blog or something about the workflow between Blender and Godot. Used to edit videos in Blender a lot. Nice video editor. Interesting. Blue. Oh, goodness. What does the node do? That's a custom attribute that I wrote for some source generators that I created. It's basically an easy way of grabbing node references in C#. So anything that's tagged with the node here will automatically assign the node with the name option 1 outline to that node, basically. So I'm realizing that basically all of this stuff is going to go away. I don't even know. Well, let's just commit what I have first. You should replace your right hand with that 3D robot hand model. No. No. As good as it was, there's nothing really more complex than a human hand. Anyway. So I have the cost label here, description label. So let's do this. Getting rid of this. Getting rid of this. Getting rid of that. Okay. We actually don't need this anymore either. So what's going to have to happen in here then is I'm going to need to do var parent equals get parent or null clickable control. So hover entered. So firstly, I want to do this. Parent dot add visibility toggle target. Description label. Parent dot add visibility toggle target. Cost label. Parent dot add clickable validator. Currency manager dot has blood cost. Hover entered plus equals. Do I need this? Maybe I don't need that. I think that's it. That may be all I need to do here. Okay, well, let's go back to the health option container. This is the other place where I'm going to have to make big changes. What is this? What is this? What is this, A the ant? Colon, semicolon? We no longer have a resource preloader. Any advice on how to escape the resource hammer nail hell? Yeah, that's a good question. That is a good question. I mean, there's a sense in which I don't know if you can, like, it's very easy to overuse resources, but at the same time, I wonder how bad that is, because I mean, you look at the Godot inspector, right? Like, everything's a resource, you know? So I go in here and I've got like theme options. So there's a resource I can put in here, and then material, there's a resource I can put in the material field. For sprites, you know, the texture is a resource. So I guess what I would say maybe is like, I don't know. That's a good question. It's a really good question. It's one of those things that's really hard to articulate, like how to know when to use resources versus some other strategy. And I think that largely just comes down to experience. Like, if you find that the resource becomes more cumbersome to work with than it becomes easy to work with, that might be a good indicator that you probably shouldn't be using a resource. So maybe that's just the one thing I would say is like, the whole point of using a resource for your data management is to make your life easier. Like in my game, you know, storing all the card data in this resource makes my life a lot easier, because where else would I put this data? Where else would I define the art for the Phoenix and the display name and the dimensions? And like, I could do it in JSON, but then I need to like build a tool that could create the JSON for me. And then like, if I expand the JSON object, I'd have to make sure to update all the other cards. And it's just very easy to come in here, create a new resource, set it all up, boom, done, you know? What WTF is the resource hammer nail hell? I think, so what Keith is referring to is when you first learn about resources, it's like a hammer and nail problem. You start to, what's the saying? When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So it's just basically a statement about how once you learn about how resources work and custom resources work, people tend to try to use them for like everything rather than using them strategically or more strategically. And so there's just, I guess what Keith was asking for is like, how do you know when you're using resources appropriately versus when you're just using them, you know, superfluously, I guess you could say. Is clickable control a vanilla Godot feature, or did you implement it? I'm a bit lazy to check right now. I implemented it. Yeah, it's just a pure script with the global class here. And this clickable control is basically just the class that allows me to do all the common stuff that I need to do with my UI elements that need to be clicked. So this controls the hover states. It controls whether the thing can be clicked or not, but it also applies the outline shaders to the object for me. So it's just a nice streamlined way of getting that common behavior into the game. Perfect answer and self-validating. All right, good. Glad to hear that. Hello, Jesse the Fish. Welcome. Welcome back. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, in here. So we no longer have that. So I do want to rename these. Small health option, medium health option, large health option. Access as unique name. We'll access these as unique name as well. Okay. Health option set tier. What does this even do? This doesn't do anything. Set cost, set increase amount. This is going to be health. No, this has to go away now. I need all those as well. Okay, so now I can do this. Clickable control dot clicked plus equals on health option selected. We'll do clicked here. Cost health increase. Okay, so now in here, clickable coordinator. Oh, I need a reference to that clickable coordinator. Private clickable coordinator. Clickable coordinator. Anyway. I should just be able to do this now. So let's just see if this much works. Let's see if I did all my stuff correctly. Oh, I didn't change the visuals. Right. We got some debugger errors. Can't add child to large health option. It already has what? Something happening? Oh, oops. Okay. So I need to change the health option so that it... Maybe I did need the set tier. Okay. Node sprite 2D, private sprite 2D. I'm just going to be lazy here. var I options.length options.visible equals I.tier. There we go. So I do want to set tier in here. All right. Now let's see if that works. I know not to use resources if you don't need something across multiple nodes, yeah, or multiple scenes. Yep, that's a good rule of thumb. I love it when I add stuff to code I never plan on using, but only just in case situation. Yeah, so I don't know. I try to avoid that personally. Because again, it's like you never plan on using it, you know? Okay, so why isn't this working? Oh, there it goes. So you see how it's playing the outline shader now? Sweet. So there's a couple of problems. First of all, that text is not showing up when I... Oh, shoot. You know what? Uh-huh. I'm going to have to change how this works a little bit. I don't think I want these medium animation roots anymore, or these just animation roots generally. Although, how does that work? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, let's see what happens. Also, in here, health label container. Why isn't this working? And then it works, yeah. Health label container.visible equals false. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Come on, why aren't you working? So it's not playing the outline animation immediately, but I think that's just a bug with how this works. This clickable control here. Clickable tween. I don't really know if I need to fix this. I think the problem is that it's just not starting the clickable tween until on input enabled is called. And this on input enabled is only called inside of here. I don't need to fix it. I don't think I need to fix that. Anyway. Okay, so now we've got our labels showing up very nicely. And these are red outlined because I can't purchase them. I don't have the money. Oh, there's a storm rolling in. Let me make sure that there's... Let's just check my weather and make sure there's no tornadoes coming. Let's see. Oh, we're good. We're good. Okay, so that's looking great. Obviously, I want to get this functional. So I'm also noticing a discrepancy here. This outline for this small vial is not as thick as the outlines for the other one. So I'm going to fix that real quick before I forget to do it. I'm just going to fix that real quick. Health file small. Can I just do this? Can I cheat? Do this. Nice. Just try to roughly match it. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. Export layers. That's probably going to mess up my positioning here. Did mess it up a little bit, but I think I can fix it. Okay. All right, I think we're good. So, hello, Kazori. Seems like you need to hover over it for it to start. Yeah. Imagine having money. Couldn't be me. Yeah. Spent all my Udemy course. Well, I thank you. What is a rule of thumb for using signals in general? My current project, I kind of overuse signals, so I'm wondering if there's any performance issues, etc. No, I think overusing signals is probably better than underusing them. Again, it's one of those things where I don't even know if you could really overuse signals. There's certainly no performance problems because a signal, it's basically just a function call. So when you emit a signal, it just immediately checks all of the signal handlers or all of the listeners of that signal, and it just calls those functions sequentially in the order that you connected them. So it would be the same performance impact as just calling all of the functions that get called sequentially. And usually that's just not going to be a problem unless you're doing some like super heavy operation. But yeah, signals are basically just function calls. But the benefit of signals is that you can do it in like a fire and forget manner. So you can just say, I'm emitting this signal that something is updated and I don't care who consumes the signal, right? It's like, and that's like an ideal way of building your system because then the things are like kind of decoupled, right? So if you have something that's emitting a signal that something's supposed to listen for, but either one of those things are missing, your code isn't going to break. I mean, maybe your game will break in the sense that like some logic doesn't happen or something, some UI doesn't update, but fundamentally the game will continue to run. So I think it's actually a pretty good practice to emit signals quite frequently, I think. Just read up on attributes. So you made one that finds the node in the scene based on the property name, so you could avoid node path stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So the source generator that creates the code, it creates this wire nodes function. And this wire nodes function here, this is all just code that the computer is generating. And you can see in here, like this clickable coordinator. So this clickable coordinator here is defined here, right? And what it's doing is it's doing get node or null with the type of that member, and then it's finding the node with that name in a various bunch of ways. Like it's doing a bunch of different get node or nulls to try to find it. So yeah, that's basically all that's happening. And then it does a more sophisticated match down here if it ends up being null after this long line. So yeah, that's what's going on there. A night stream, yes indeed, Ninja Link. Welcome, good to see you. It's good, great to know. Yeah, for sure. I need a trick to make. Why am I so freaking blue? What's going on? I need like one of those streamer influencer lights. Does anyone want to donate like $50 so I can get one of those influencer lights? I need a trick. I need a trick to make rigid body not sensible to rotate. I did a moving box. But when I move it with the player, it doesn't move straight because most of the time it moved by rotating. Can't you, I'm not familiar with like making rigid bodies move, so I could be wrong here, but I thought you could lock axes. So if you don't want a rigid body to rotate, I think you can lock that axis, but I could be mistaken. I'm not sure. Late night stream, yeah. Well, it's not terribly, it's 9 p.m. for me. There's a lock rotation property. There you go. See, A, the ant's got you. A, the ant has got you. All right, what was I doing? Oh, I was going to check this. So, yeah, I mean, this is basically going to work. I think it will make sense to do the animations and stuff now. I mean, it might make sense also to just test it out real quick. So if I do generate test map, and then I go to my run map generator, assign node test type, event type health. Let's run the game now and see what happens. It is really raining. Really raining. All right, does that still work? It does. Cool. So yeah, this is basically working. Oh, never mind. I was able to click that. Why was I able to click that? Why was I able to click that? Never mind, it's not working. What? I was under the impression that the clickable validator would stop the... Oh, interesting. It doesn't stop the clicked signal from getting emitted, and for good reason, because I'm able to still detect the click event, but I can play like an invalid thing. So interesting. Okay, a clickable validator. Interesting. So I am going to need to handle that myself. So if I can just do this then. Okay, good to know. I think if I were to do that again, I probably would instead do like a click invalid instead signal. So the clicked signal would indicate that all the clickable validators passed, but the click invalid signal would indicate that the clickable validators did not pass. But it's working now, so we're good. Okay. Initial script setup for health. Cool, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on the animations. I had Godot open, so I just checked. Oh, nice. Hello, Iron from Turkmenistan. I wish you good luck on your game development. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Turkmenistan is in Central Asia. I don't know. I don't know where it is. I know, but... oh, I see. Forces are only applied to linear movement, so the body needs to rotate. It will be disabled. Gotcha. A good rule of thumb is that if the country ends with Stan, it's probably Central Asia, except maybe Pakistan. Gotcha. If I enable it, it would block push sometimes. Yeah, it sounds like a tricky problem. Sounds like a tricky problem, Kazori. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I come back, we'll work on the animations for this. This screen is actually almost done. I basically just need to do animations for everything. So we'll see how far we can get with that before I run out of steam. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show off my snazzy course landing page again. Your favorite niche internet e-celeb owns the domain GodotCourses.com, which is very fancy. So yeah, you can check out my course landing page if you want. This is GodotCourses.com. Of course, this just links you out to Udemy for the multiplayer cooperative online game course. I don't know if I said that in the right order, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, if you're interested in learning multiplayer development in Godot, this is a great way to do it. Also, this is a great way to support me. So if you're interested, again, check out the links in the description below, or you can go to GodotCourses.com and click the link there. Either the link in the description or the link from this website will give you the referral code. And if you purchase the course using my referral code, then I get the majority of the sale. So that helps me out greatly. But also, you just being here and watching the streams, that helps me greatly as well. So, oh, did I turn like really blue again? Hold on, I gotta see this. Did I turn really blue again? I definitely need a influencer light, don't I? If I do more late night streams, I'm gonna have to get that. Oh yeah, look at that. Very blue. Very blue. Goodness gracious. Okay, anyway. I'll be right back in just 3 minutes, and we will continue on with the animations for this health screen. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that will be less blue. So now we got to do the animations. And how are we going to do that? So we need to slide in the background first. Let's do a public void play in. The first thing we want to do is let's do clickable coordinator dot disable input. Okay. Then when we play in, we'll take that background. Do I have a reference to it? Nope. I will need a background root position for this. So copy this background position here, paste it there, move the background into that. Now the background is at 0, 0, so that's great. Gonna need to do the same thing for the floor. Node 2D, floor root. Copy this position here, paste it there, put the floor under there, and now the floor is zeroed out. And we'll grab a reference to that as well. Node private sprite 2D floor. Okay. Var tween equals create tween. Firstly, we're going to do this. Visual utilities dot position node off screen background. Visual utilities dot position node off screen floor. Var tween equals create tween. Let's do tween.set parallel true. Tween.property background string node 2D dot property name dot position. We want to tween it to, actually I did this, tween position. And the node can be background, and then how do I bring up the, I forgot, I always forget how to bring up, there we go. Position, vector2 dot 0, duration 0.5, set ease type dot out, set transition, let's do cubic. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing here for the floor, except we're going to do set delay of 0.1. Okay. If this dot is current scene, new vector 2, let's just do visual utilities dot get window width minus size dot x minus 50, and we'll just do 50 down, I guess. And then we're also going to call play in. All right, let's see what that does. Ooh, look at that. Pretty smooth. Pretty smooth indeed. Okay, so we've got those sliding in. So now we got to actually animate the health option here. So public void play in visual utilities dot position node off screen. What do we need to do in here? I guess we'll position the vial root off screen. Does that make sense? I think so. Node. Private node 2D. What did I call it? Vial root. I don't like that. Let's call it animation root. Animation root. So play in, we'll do a float delay in here. Set it to 0 by default, I suppose. Position node off screen, animation root. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll do var tween is equal to create tween. Tween.tween position. Animation root to 0 over 0.5 seconds, set delay. Okay, perfect. And I'm probably gonna want this to be async task. And then we can do await to signal tween.signal name dot finished. Okay. So I think that's fine. Let's store this health options. Private health option. Health options. Bloop. Okay. So now in here, for int var I equals 0, I is less than health options dot length, we're going to do this. What does this return? I keep forgetting what the types are here, but that's okay. It's going to be I times, let's do I. Let's do 0.2f plus I times 0.1f. Okay, Copilot, make it so that, I don't know, I await when all of the play-ins are finished. Oh, it's a task. Okay. Is that right? Why does it keep wanting to add play in async? I don't understand. Await task dot when all play in tasks clickable coordinator dot enable mouse input. This, we can discard that. All right, let's take a gander at how all that looks. Howdy, Fat Kid Games. Welcome, welcome. My sleep schedule is so ruined. I'm sorry if I'm not helping. I'm a Godot newbie, relatively, and tweens are literally like black magic to me. They're very, very simple. They look confusing, but they're very simple. I think maybe the one thing that may clear things up for you is if you go to a website called easings.net, the tween easings are very standardized across, I mean, like CSS animations or the Godot tweens or whatever. They're basically just mathematical formulas that define curves. And this easings.net is a very nice resource that just shows you what all the different combinations are. So, you know, I'm using ease out cubic. So where is ease out cubic? Here. So this is the curve that I get. So if I hover over this, you can see how that little indicator there, let me zoom in a little bit. That little indicator, it starts off fast and then it slows down, right? So that's what the curve is doing. So when I tween from one position to another using an out cubic, what's happening is that it's going really fast at the start and then it's easing out gradually. You see how this plateaus off? So that may be part of the reason why they seem like black magic, is because what the heck is ease in, what the heck's ease out, was quint, what's expo. But these are all just basically different curve definitions that determine how the value that you're tweening changes over time. So that's easings.net if you want to check that out. Revamping the health screen? Yes, indeed. Yep, that's what we're doing. Oh, that looks helpful. It is very helpful. I reference it all the time. I created a dynamic animation player node using tween on Godot. Very nice, yeah. I've been slowly creating little tween utilities for myself for common things. Ah, shoot. This is not working. I'm going to change this up a little bit. Position node off screen, animation root dot position plus equals vector 2 dot right times 32. Okay. So now everything needs to fade out. Add play in animations to health screen. Oh, we also want to do an error tween as well. So we'll do that. But first, we're going to do this. Public void play out. We're going to do visual utilities dot fade out. And we'll do I'll just do this, I guess. Cool. Health option container. Public void play out. I think I will need to do an async task here. Disable mouse input there. Oh, this, I guess this needs to return that, or maybe not. No, I don't think I need to do that. It's called play out there. Don't need this play out tasks. So we're going to play all those out. Then we need to do visual utilities, fade out, floor. And then fade out background, but we're going to do an await here. I think that's going to be all that I need to do here. So then in my health option container, health event state machine, I mean, this in here, we're going to do health option container dot play out. We need to await this async. We're going to await that. Then we can queue free it. Then we can queue free this. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I think that's going to work. But let's go ahead and see. Also, I made a finite state machine tool. Yeah, these kinds of tools can be very, very useful. Hello, Yeet. Finally, the health screen. Yes, indeed. Finally. Also, this lighting agrees with me. Yeah, the blue. Hello, Cat Hugger. Welcome back. Good to see you. All right, so let's buy... Oh, it didn't work. Did something break? Did something break? Why isn't this working? We may never know. Oh, it's not even playing it. Oh, it's not even playing in. That's why. Health event state machine. Play in. We don't need to await that. That would be the reason why it's not working. Sweet. I think I'm going to slow that down a little bit. Just another quarter of a second. Sweet. And that works great. Look at that. That would be nice to have some kind of animation there, I guess. Maybe I could have... Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about maybe doing an animation for interacting with this. Also, it'd be kind of nice to do a little hover effect. Maybe I'll do that. Let's just see what that looks like real quick. So just make it levitate off the floor a little bit. So parent dot hover entered plus equals on hover entered. Parent dot hover exited plus equals on hover exited. We also need an invalid click animation. Private void on hover entered. We're gonna do this. Let's do a new tween, private tween, hover tween. Hover tween, kill if valid. I'm gonna try something I haven't done yet. Hover tween equals create tween, hover tween dot tween position. What am I tweening? The animation root. Animation root, vector 2 dot up times 8 over 1 second dot set ease type out cubic, that's fine. Hover tween, tween subtween. What does this do? Create, let's do this. What? Tween subtween. Creates and appends a subtween tweener. Huh? Okay, var subtween is equal to create tween, subtween dot set loops 0, subtween dot tween position, animation root, vector 2 dot up times 4, duration 1 second, and then we'll do tween dot up times 8, then we'll tween subtween here. So what I'm trying to avoid is I want this portion to loop so that it hovers up and down, but the initial up position should go a little bit slower, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Anyway, private void on hover exited. We're gonna do this. Hover tween kill if valid. Yes, thank you. Thank you, cursor. We're gonna turn this back down to 0. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm weird. When you click on a potion, it should pour into your health container. That's a good idea. That looks pretty good, actually. Can't really complain with that. I think I'm going to change these easings, though. I think that's the first time I've ever used subtweens, so that's cool. Got the procedural layering system with chunk management working. Learned a lot by watching your streams. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to hear that, Vaughn. It's always exciting when you make good progress on a really core system of your game, so that's great. How would you create a pouring animation for this? It's probably easier to animate it in Asprite. I would probably use a shader. So I'd probably create like a texture that looks kind of like liquid pouring, but then I would layer it a couple times and then use shader scrolling to shader scrolling in a combination with particles to make it look like liquid, I think. You could just drain the potion. Draining the potion would work. I was thinking that maybe it would just like pop the lid off or something, like really with a really satisfying pop, and then like yeah, I mean, because draining the liquid would be kind of annoying because I'd have to change that sprite too. I kind of just want to do something easy, like just to have a really satisfying, like the lid pops and flies off, and then it can just fade out, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be super fancy, but having some kind of feedback would be good, I think. But I do like the hover effects. I think that adds quite a lot of life to that. Dang, that's looking cool. That's looking real good. Looking real nice. Cool. So now we need an invalid animation, but add various, what did I do in here? Add various animations. With drinking SFX could work, yeah. Still my favorite art from this game. You still like the health screen? I do like it a lot too. I think it looks good. Am I backseat developing too much? No, not at all. No. Your suggestions are very appreciated for sure, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. So what else? Oh yeah, I was gonna do the invalid animation. I kind of do want to modify my clickable control here. But I also don't want to do it, so never mind. Okay. What am I doing? On health option clicked. So, I think I will. Public delegate void invalid click. I'm gonna use improper English. Invalid clicked event handler. So in here, emit signal clicked. I might change this later to do don't emit clicked if validators fail. But because I have code that's still relying on this behavior, I'm not going to change it yet. I'm just going to, in addition, if I say if clickable validators any fail, then I'm going to emit signal invalid clicked there. So now what I can do in my health option here is I can do parent.invalid clicked plus equals on invalid clicked. Private void on invalid clicked. Gonna need a separate tween that changes something else. So the problem here is that I'm gonna have, oh shoot. I'm gonna have multiple. So there's an animation root. I guess I'll just call this like, what do I want to call this? I'll just call it invalid shake root, I guess. The problem is I can't apply the shake animation to the animation root because then that's going to interfere with the hover animation or the hover tween. So I'll just create another node. Private node 2D invalid shake root. Var tween equals create tween. Tween.set loops. Let's just do something like 5. Actually, what am I doing for the shop items? Play invalid. I'm just going to copy this. This is actually a place where I could create an extension method for this if I'm going to use this all the time. Might actually be a good idea. Yeah, let's just try that. So now if I click on it, it should shake a little bit. Oh, and I've also broken my chain of material inheritance. So just got to fix that real quick. Okay. So now if I click on something and I can't purchase it, I get that invalid shaking. And that doesn't interfere with the hover animation at all either. Cool. I wonder, I'm very tempted to do this. I see you're being annoying, cat. Why? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Oh, big stretch. Wow, that was a big stretch. It was a big stretch. Okay. Shader's another type of magic, yeah, for sure. The pop sounds cool. You could have the blood particles come out and enter your health, kind of like when enemies die. Yeah, that could work. Turned hella southern at the end there. I don't get how this top fans things works. How am I first? I don't know. I don't know how it works either. Oh, maybe, you know what it is? You might get XP for based on how long you've been in the chat. And I think you've been here from the beginning, basically. I don't know how it works. I don't know. This can be simplified to tween position. Public static tween create invalid shake tween with a this node 2D node node.create tween node.position return tween. So now here what I'll do is I'll just do this. Invalid shake root.create invalid shake tween. Boom. All right, let's see how this looks. So I go into here, max health increase, and it's working great. Now if I spam it, it interferes, but that's okay because the tweens don't last very long. So I can grab that. Excellent. I shouldn't be able to click anything else. Let's just go ahead and collect all the health that I can. Maybe I'll be able to outlast the boss. How much health do I have? Oh, I guess on that screen it would be useful to show how much health you currently have. That is another problem, yeah. I can't see my health on this screen. Interesting. Well, okay. Maybe we should fix that. Maybe we should fix that. More health option animations. Make every click sound so good you don't want to be stopping. Yeah. The more comments you make, the more you rank. How do you earn shop currency in your game? You earn currency by defeating combat encounters. So a combat encounter is just like any other node on the map. It's a node that you have to visit. And so in order to incentivize actually engaging in combat, that's the only place you can currently get currency. I am number 3 because I don't shut up. Based on time and chat and activity, everyone can gain like 25 points an hour unless you use super chats. Oh, gotcha. 25 points an hour is crazy. Do you only stream this late? No, I usually stream in the mornings. I think you know that, Lunatic. I think you've been here on the morning stream. Do I normally stream this late? No, I don't. No. No, this is a special occasion, I suppose. Making your health rise incrementally would be good too. Yeah. Super chat yummers. Yeah, because how about 150 XP if the stream is only a bit more than an hour? Stream mostly in the morning, yeah. Okay. The cat is tired too. If you're tired, why don't you go to sleep? You have all kinds of cozy surfaces you can lay on. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hello. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see if it's going to be easy to create that. Shoot. Is this going to be easy at all? I think I have like a game UI combat widget. Create combat widget. Oops. Where is this being called? Do I have a bug around this? I think I do have a bug around this. I think I need to figure out a better way of managing the combat widget because I guarantee you, let me see. Turn off generate test map and then go into the game here. If I go here and then I open this, oh, it doesn't create a, oh, interesting. It creates a new combat widget and it gets rid of the old one. I see. How do I leverage that for this screen? Force expand. Where's this being called? Oh, goodness. I don't know how to handle this. Get run manager. So what I could do is I could do this. In my run manager, I could do signal public delegate void event entered. Event handler. Oh, that's kind of weird. Event entered. Huh. Enter state event here. Get state machine for event. Node event type current. So node event. So event type, okay. Emits signal, event entered, current run map node dot node event type. And then up here I can do event type. And then what I can do is I'll get rid of this. I'll probably want to get rid of this force expand. Expand here. Enter state event. Yeah, let's get rid of it here. Drawer UI, force expand. I probably shouldn't be calling this anywhere, really. From the run manager. Where the heck is the combat widget? Oh. Expand drawer. Yeah, I have to think about this. I need to redo this system. So it's kind of bad what I'm doing in here in this run manager. So the run manager is just a giant state machine that kind of basically controls the state of the game. But I'm controlling the drawer UI from this run manager, which is not great. What I should be doing instead is emitting a bunch of signals from the run manager that the drawer listens and responds to. And I think that's ultimately what I need to do. Because if I can respond to an event being entered, for instance, then I can know, oh, if it's this type of event, then I need to create the combat widget and show that. And, you know, I could even do that for the combat events. So it's kind of weird the way I have it. I've got a combat widget in my drawer UI here, which opens up when you open up the drawer, so you can see your health. But then in my game UI, I have another combat widget here, which is being used for the actual like enemy health. So it's just, I've got some splintered code, but I think now is a good opportunity to do a little bit of light refactoring on that. So this is the drawer UI combat widget here. But then if I go into a combat, which of course I don't have one available, so I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, what the heck? What the heck? Where did my stuff go? Oh, I got rid of the force expand here. Okay. Let me put that back. So if I go to combat here, this is the combat widget now that's coming from the game UI. So when you expand the drawer manually, this one gets created and then this, so it's just kind of messy. I can just use the drawer UI one all the time. The only problem is I just need information about the current combat that's happening. So I just need to figure out a better way of unifying that. And what might even be useful is I may create a standalone scene that creates the combat widget so that there's only ever one combat widget, and then I can just configure it as necessary based on what's happening contextually, but I don't know, we'll see. I left that comment on the screen way too long. Special occasion because you got McDonald's in the morning. True. Love the code reviews. Great idea. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually working on a Blitz Basic successor, so thanks for the second screen ASMR. Yeah, for sure. I got you. So clingy. Yeah, the cat. Yeah, the cat is very clingy. Would you think of adding gold and a shop mechanic to my... would you think adding gold and shop mechanic to my game jam is worth the time? Or should I just add straight rewards from enemy encounters to save time for other mechanics? Yeah, my initial hunch is that if purchasing things with gold is not like a core piece of your game jam's identity, then of your jam game's identity, then don't add it. I think jam games are an exercise in keeping the gameplay as focused as possible around like one core mechanic. And so when you start to introduce other systems like that, not only do you stretch yourself a little bit thin because now you have more work to do, but you can also dilute the strength of your core idea. So my hunch would be to say, do whatever maximizes the impact of your core mechanic and minimizes the amount of work that you need to do. Late question, but is the clickable controller a node you made? The clickable coordinator, yeah. So there's a clickable, these clickables here, these are basically just handling mouse events for me. But the clickable coordinator is basically just a way of, I provide all of the clickable controls in here. And then the nice thing in the clickable coordinator here is that I just have methods for disabling and enabling mouse input. So instead of like having to manually iterate over all of the clickables that I have in the scene, I can just call on the single clickable coordinator, disable or enable on all of them. So that's all that does. It's not doing anything more complicated than that. So, and then the clickable controls, those are more complicated, but those are responsible for playing like, or putting outline shaders on things based on whether I can click and handling the mouse events and all that stuff. So these ones are a little bit more involved, but it's not terrible. Okay. So tell you what, I'm getting to the point where it's almost bedtime, but I think what I will do is I will do a playthrough of the game and we'll see if we can beat the boss again. Actually, the McFlurry is so sweet for me. Yeah, it is very sweet. All right, let's try a booster first. Let's do some weapons. Okay, grab those. All right. Dog 1, villager 1, mutton. So I guess I'll just go, let's see. If I go here and then around that way, that's gonna look good because I can hit the shop too. Will I have enough money? That's the question. Maybe I'll go here and then around. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that is a very big board. Let's turn up the speed. Actually, I think I'll probably be okay. Nice. I did it. I beat him. All right. We'll go to this one now. Sweet. All right, alchemy time. We might as well alchemize these two things together. Deal 7 damage, deal 8 damage. This one has a lower turn cooldown, so I'll take that one. And the other thing is I need to put another minion next to him. There we go. All right, let's see what we got for artifacts here. Vampire Fangs. Deal 50 or gain 50% lifesteal, but lose 5% of max health every turn. I think I might try that, actually. Let's take it. We'll increase the board size. We might as well throw that ceremonial dagger on there. Go get the max health increase with our new max health screen. Ooh, I can actually... Ooh. That is tempting. I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy 15 health. So now I actually don't have any money for the shop. Well, I can upgrade a card. Let's upgrade my Skeletron. And I should still have... Yeah, so this skeleton is tier 2 and is still alchemized, so I'm going to take that one. Now I do need another minion card, though, to trigger its bonus. Because this is going to deal double damage if there's an adjacent minion, so I need that. So is there a booster I can reach? Oh, it's over there. I think I can reach the booster, though. I've got 7 turns remaining. So let's go ahead and alchemize. Ooh, I actually don't want to alchemize these things because if I ruin this card, that's not going to be good. So we're going to skip. We're going to skip. Increase board size. I really need some boosters. Another alchemy. Oh no, this is painful. This is painful. I have to skip some alchemies. I didn't think this through. All right, anyway. There's a booster there. So I've got 4 more moves, so I could do this. I could do this booster, I can do this, and then I can do the health. And I think that will be good, so let's do that. That is a good looking ox. Oh, I forgot I have vampire fangs. I'm getting a lot of good lifesteal though, so that's good. Sweet. All right, booster time. Your streams and the channel in general are an amazing resource for devs. Great stuff. Thank you, MKRD. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Minion. I want minions for this card here. Okay. All right, we got some minions now. That slime is actually very tempting. I'm going to get rid of that and put that there. Perfect. All right, do we fight? Let's fight the guy that gives me more money. Oh, wow. Big damage. Okay. And then we can do a max health increase. Maybe I will have enough. Yeah, I'll have enough for another 15 health increase. And now it's boss time. 105. I've got 80 health now, which is great. And let's just see what happens. I'm going to be losing a lot more health, though, from the vampire fangs. 5% of max health every turn. Oh, wow. I'm killing this guy. Although he's doing it, he's putting the hurt on me too. Oh, there we go. Goodbye. And that's it. Okay. So I don't have any, I won, but there's no, I don't have any win screen. So that was actually a good run. So this is the kind of run where I would be really excited to continue on because I've got this powerful card already and the slime too. So yeah, that was pretty good. I like that one. Do the health prices scale? Not yet. I need to figure that out still. I need to figure that out. Hello, Infinity01. Welcome back. Good to see you. Unfortunately, you are catching me right at the end of the stream here. So I'm going to be leaving momentarily. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate all of your support and for hanging out. And if you, again, you want to support my work or you want to learn how to build a complete online cooperative multiplayer game in Godot 4, check out the link in the description below. That is the link to this Udemy course. And if you've taken my other courses, it's going to be very similar in quality, so you'll know what to expect. But yeah, this course will teach you remote procedure calls, the server authoritative architecture, also the high-level multiplayer nodes like multiplayer spawner, multiplayer synchronizer. So if you've been wondering how to make a small online cooperative game that your friends can connect to over the internet and you can have a good time together, this is a great resource for you. And again, it's a good way to help me out too. So again, use the link in the description below. That's my referral code. So if you purchase it through that link, I get the overwhelming majority of the sale, and that does help me quite a bit. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. I'm glad that we got the health screen basically done in this stream. That was really cool. So there's basically nothing else to do except add some sound effects and maybe more visual effects on click, but we're basically done. So that's it. All right. Thanks again, everybody. And I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Oh, I'm going to be streaming again in 12 hours. So be back here in 12 hours. All right. Okay. Anyway, good night, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow.